It's a place as alien as space, a fluid world of darkness and cold and extraordinary forms of life. Though at risk here, humanity descends in shells of steel, compelled by our insatiable curiosity. Hidden in the haze of the sea are creatures so immense and so mysterious, they seem unreal. A mammoth pulse of life picked up through hydrophones, the beat of a heart so large it can be heard 2 miles away. No animals more enthrall us than the giants whose songs echo across the vastness of the deep, who roam somewhere beyond our view and our understanding, the largest creatures ever to live on Earth. For all life in the sea, successful feeding is the key to survival. Many creatures, like the manta ray, take advantage of a remarkable food source. Swarms found throughout the ocean of plankton, larval fish, and tiny shrimp called krill, collectively the greatest mass of protein in the entire world. Filtering out the tiny food through strainers in its gills, the manta can live on the relatively sparse plankton of the tropics. But the great baleen, or toothless whales, also filter feeders, must find greater concentrations of it elsewhere, or they'll starve. The great whales' search for food can force them to journey across an entire ocean. Masters of starvation, they can survive on their blubber while they wait for the plankton swarms to reappear. Barely visible to us as red surface patches marked by birds, the massive krill swarms in cool upwellings or polar seas are the primary food sources sufficient to sustain the greatest of all whales, the rarely seen blue whale. A blue often drives krill to the surface, then lunges to engulf them, clamping its huge mouth shut like a trap while on its side. Comb-like filters in its mouth, called baleen, act like sieves, capturing the krill as the water drains away. The whale simply swallows the meal that's left. More than 100 feet long and 100 tons, the blue whale is the largest animal ever to live on the Earth, surpassing any dinosaur. Its heart is bigger than a small car. A child could crawl through its largest arteries. Their voices are equally mighty, carrying at least 1,000 miles through the sea. Yet as large and loud as they are, blue whales are among the most elusive of all creatures. The story of the whale is one we can piece together only as fragments, gathered species by species from the farthest corners of the world. One of the best places to peer into the lives of whales is Peninsula Valdez on the southern coast of Argentina. Each winter, right whales follow unknown routes from distant feeding grounds to gather in the calm shallows off Valdez. Once found along the coast of every continent, the right whale was hunted to the edge of extinction. Today, their numbers have recovered to about 4,000. Peninsula Valdez is one of the great intersections of sea, land, and wildlife left on Earth. Elephant seals gather here by the thousands to breed and share the beach with Magellanic penguins, who also migrate here each year, then waddle ashore to claim a patch of sand. Since 1970, biologist Roger Payne has walked these same beaches to study the right whales.
This is my favorite place in the world. Here in Peninsula Valdez, right whales come so close to shore you can spend an afternoon walking along a beach in their company. And at night, whenever the herd moves into the bay, the sound of their breathing wakes you. On the head of every right whale, roughly where facial hair appears on humans, there are hard white patches of thickened skin called callosities. We found that no two patterns are exactly alike, making it possible to tell individuals apart. The males have more and bigger callosities, and they use them like horns to fight over females. Using callosity patterns like human fingerprints, we can now follow the lives of more than 1,300 individual right whales. Some, like Trough, have become old friends.
The relatively quiet waters of these bays seem an ideal nursery for the whales, while the cliffs provide a perfect vantage point for Payne and his team to observe whale behavior. On average, right whales give birth to one calf every 3 years. Curiously, 1 in 50 is born white, but only remains so for the first year of its life. Fewer than 10 white calves are ever alive on the planet at the same time. Like people, mother whales keep their babies right next to them, where they can be watched continuously and protected. Like children of all species, whale calves seek attention. And to get it, a mischievous calf will sometimes drape its body over its mother's blowhole so she can't breathe. Adults can also be playful. A whale will often hold its tail up as a sail and ride the wind. They don't sail to get places. Perhaps they do it just for fun. Tail slapping and breaching serve many purposes. They may be a form of communication. It seems to be a challenge to other whales and often gets the whole day going. When seas are calm, right whales often rest or sleep head down with their tails in the air. Naturally buoyant, they got their name from whalers. Because they were rich in oil, which kept them afloat when killed, they were the right whales to hunt. On occasion, members of Payne's scientific team must approach near enough to check the general health of an individual whale by close inspection of its skin. Though the diver is here to observe the whale, her subject seems just as interested in her. Observing whales in their habitat can be dangerous. A blow from a fluke that weighs a ton could easily render a diver unconscious. Eye to eye, across the gulf between species. Although we've learned a great deal about right whales, an enormous mystery remains. We don't know precisely where they all go when they leave Peninsula Valdez. We know only that they'll be back again next year. Another chapter in the whale story can be found off Hawaii, a major breeding and calving ground for humpback whales, a species we know better than most other whales. The sailing vessel Odyssey will allow Payne's team to both study and live among the whales. Almost immediately, whales appear. Though many people are unaware of it, dolphins are actually toothed whales, along with porpoises, the smallest of some 75 whale species in the world. Most whales, like the humpbacks, have to be sought out, but dolphins often come to us. Dolphins spend their lives immersed in a sea of sound. They use whistles to keep in touch and rapid clicks to examine their world through echolocation. What captivates Payne most about humpbacks is their underwater sounds. But to hear them, he has to leave the noise of the Odyssey. In the 1960s, Roger Payne and Scott McVeigh discovered that humpbacks sing, and Payne has spent years recording their songs through hydrophones.
We know next to nothing about what the songs of humpback whales mean. We do know that only the males sing. It seems to be done to attract females and to challenge other males. Everyone in this area sings the same song, but it changes subtly over time. Like human singers, humpbacks often employ rhymes, apparently to help them remember complex songs. Suspended, head down, and motionless, they sometimes sing for hours at a time. The songs are shatteringly loud.
Biologist Debbie Glockner-Ferrari has worked in Hawaii since 1975, studying humpback whales. At age 6, her daughter is already an eager assistant.
I love working with whales, especially mothers and calves. But they can be difficult to study because they're often pursued by groups of aggressive males. Though they may look peaceful underwater, 10 enormous male humpbacks rushing by can pose a 400-ton threat to any researcher who happens to get in their path. Physical contact with their mothers is very important to the babies. As an observer, my own relationship varies from whale to whale. Their natures often seem as diverse as human personalities. Some barrel past as if I'm not there. Others will let me approach freely. This small calf we've named Echo. Her mother's name is Misty. Echo is always curious about what's around her. Young calves are often playful, swimming right up to get a closer look at me, but their mothers are always nearby. Humpback mothers are pregnant for about a year. They give birth to a single calf that weighs 2 to 3 tons. While the baby's nursing, it's thought to gain about 100 pounds a day in the first few weeks.